Magic in Orlando Monday night. Looked pretty good, actually. Early in the first, Giannis gets it in transition. One giant Euro step.
Ooh, that was giant.
Euro step is Greek for traveling, Tony. Rough translation. Bucks up early, and then Giannis, tough shot here, and gets it to go. Bucks by 8 at that point. Let's get into the fourth quarter. Magic down just 4. Aaron Gordon going right at Giannis and somehow rattles that home. I don't know if that's a dunk or not. I don't know what you call that. But it goes. Then Giannis later, you're going to give me this? You know, I can shoot, you know. Lines it up and buries it. Giannis at 22. Bucks win by 22.
David, we also saw Portland spend most of Monday night sleepwalking against the Raptors, but they woke up just in the nick of time. We're going to pick this one up in the fourth quarter. Both offices exploded. 2:43 to play. Hideout 104. Damian Lillard goes to work, hits that step back 3. Blazers lead by 3 now. 1:55 to play. Lillard pick and roll with Robert Covington, who kicks to Carmelo Anthony for 3 from the wing. Melo coming alive in the fourth to finish with 20 off the bench. A minute left. Pascal Siakam for the easy dunk. So the Raptors take the lead by 1. Now 15 seconds left. CJ McCollum working. Fred VanVleet hits that. The hero in this one, McCollum, scoring 30 along with 6 rebounds, 5 assists. And final possession for Toronto. Siakam, defended by Covington, misses. He had his first career triple-double despite the loss. The Blazers go on to win this one, 112 to 111.
Hey, will the third time be the charm for Tom Brady and the Bucks? How Tampa Bay can finally overcome Drew Brees and the Saints. And Justin Fields' college career is over. A look back at his journey from #1 recruit to the college football playoff. That plus half-hour headlines on the
championship on the line. Had 12 catches for 215 yards and 3 touchdowns on his way to the offensive MVP. Now, the only other player to do that in the last 15 seasons is Davante Adams in 2013 with Fresno State. Adams had games with 200 yards receiving and 3 touchdowns against UNLV, New Mexico State, and San Jose State in the 2013 season. Adams has carried that success over to the NFL, where he has been burning defenses in Green Bay. And he took notice on Twitter saying, from now on, if you misspell my name, make sure it's Davante, because he's that boy. Now, former Alabama wide receiver Jerry Jeudy weighing in, saying greatest wide receiver to play college football. And the ultimate shout out from LeBron James. Devontae Smith is one of the best pure receivers I've ever watched, like a mix between Reggie Wayne and Marvin Harrison. He is the first receiver to win the Heisman and National Championship in the same season. Here's a few non-receivers who did it. Matt Leinart, 2014, won the Heisman and went on to throw 5 touchdown passes against Oklahoma to lead USC to the title. We had Cam Newton in 2010. He threw for 30 touchdowns and ran for another 20 to win the Heisman. Lead Auburn also to a perfect 14-0 season, including a win over Oregon in the championship game. What about 2015? We had Derrick Henry setting SEC records in rushing yards and touchdowns to win the Heisman, and then scored 3 times against Clemson to give Alabama the title. And last year, LSU's Joe Burrow threw for an FBS record 60 touchdowns to win the Heisman, and then torched Clemson in the national championship game.
Our NFL insider, Dan Graziano, joins us now. So, Dan, both Devontae Smith and his quarterback, Mac Jones, coming up big on the big stage, and both will likely be in April's draft. So what are you hearing about how high those guys might go?
Look, I mean, Devontae Smith has done nothing but dazzle and impress people over the past several months. You know, could the Jets take a look at him as high as #2? Feels unlikely, but this is definitely a special player. The Miami Dolphins sitting there at 3 with the pick they got from the Houston Texans. Obviously an incredible, opportunity for Miami if he gets there. To pair him with Tua Tagovailoa, he could go extremely high in the draft for a wide receiver. Quarterback Mac Jones, probably a mid to late first-round pick. Incredible accuracy. Teams like a lot of things about him. The only thing Mac Jones doesn't offer, he doesn't offer the mobility that a lot of the college quarterbacks coming out and getting drafted in the first round do now. Teams are looking for guys that can move around and create. Mac Jones has not the strength of his game. Ohio State quarterback Justin Fields, I think there was a strong sense that he played hurt last night. He's still well regarded. I think there's going to be a debate about whether he or BYU's Zach Wilson should be the second quarterback taken, and depending on which one you like, how high that could go. If the Jets aren't sold on Sam Darnold as their future, then perhaps he's in the conversation there at number 2, or if someone does want to trade up to take a guy like Justin Fields, number 2, maybe the Jets put that pick up for sale.
All right, Dan, let's talk about a former number 1 overall pick, Jared Goff, who came on in relief Saturday, led the Rams over the Seahawks. So what can you tell us about his status? He's another week removed from the thumb surgery as they get ready to play the Packers.
Goff was able to play through the thumb injury and play, I guess, effectively enough to win the game for the Rams. You know, he'll be in the mix, obviously, this week. If his thumb is healthy enough for him to go, I would expect him to be the starter for the Rams against the Packers. Remember, John Wolford, who started last week's game, suffered a neck injury and left early, which is how Goff got into the game in the first place. The key injury to watch for the Rams this week is probably on the defensive side of the ball, where star defensive tackle Aaron Donald has a rib cartilage injury. I would expect him to be limited in practice at best this week, but I also expect him to play in the game. It's an injury that causes significant discomfort, but Rams coach Sean McVay said on Monday that he would expect Aaron Donald to be able to go and it wouldn't affect his status for the game. Browns are getting some guys back for their game against the Chiefs, including head coach Kevin Stefanski, who is eligible to return to the Browns facility on Thursday. Stefanski tested positive for COVID-19. Had to miss last week's game against the Steelers, but I was in contact with him yesterday. He is eager, to say the least, to return to work and get a head start on preparing for the defending champs.
Cleveland currently the largest underdog on divisional weekend, getting 10 points as they head to Arrowhead. Dan, giving us the latest as we gear up for the divisional round. To the NBA we go. Giannis missed the last game with back spasms. I guess even a Greek freak can have lumbar